Well,
Yeah.
that's correct.
Goodness.
And Sonia is in the studio with us with our Bryan Insurance Tip of the Week.
Yes,
How are you, Sonia?
I'm good. Thank y'all for letting me come on a different day. I usually come on Wednesdays.
That's
but I was
true.
out of town yesterday for an insurance seminar. So, which for nerds like me, that was a cool thing to go do, even though it was Rick's birthday, which I
I
hated.
made for a good excuse.
Well, no, they only give that class one day a year
Yeah.
in Dallas, so I had to go. It just happened to be on his birthday. But anyway, we'll make up for it.
Did you have some rain over there yesterday?
Yeah. Oh, and
Yeah.
the night before just stormed all that, so I just slept like a baby, you know. And then, yeah, it rained until about 2 yesterday. So, yeah.
Must be nice for people that can just sleep like a baby during a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
I break out in a cold sweat.
I'll probably be.
I had to sit there and watch everything going, okay, where's the red, where's the yellow, what's going on?
I always say one of two things will probably be what takes me out. One is that I will just be in bed mad because the TV knocked the satellite out, the storm, and then it'll take our house away. Or
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna get
driving us nuts.
the other way is too many emails. I'm gonna just stroke out over it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Okay, so what do you have for us this week?
Well, I want to talk about trucking insurance and really commercial vehicle insurance in general. I was at a trucking seminar yesterday, so that kind of has it on the front of my mind. But commercial auto rates have gone just through the roof. It's unbelievable. If you would have ever told me anytime, even 5 years ago, 3 years ago, that the business auto part of an account, any account, whether it's a pickup, a car, or a fleet of semi-trucks, and anywhere in between, the rates are just going crazy. And I would never believe that would have been the most difficult part of an account. And so, in general, agencies, we don't set the rates. We don't have anything to do with that. And sometimes, I'm no economics major, so we just have to believe, the things about what they're telling us. But they said that there's 2 reasons that the rates have gone high. And claims always make rates go high. That's just part of it. Denny Bryan used to say, claims make rates. And that's true. And in the last 5 years, 10 years, there have been multiple $30 to $40 million judgments for a single plaintiff auto accident that is just unprecedented. That's just crazy. And so those type of things have made the rates increase. And then also the strengthening economy. I can't talk. The economy is stronger than it has been, and that makes more vehicles out on the road, which makes more accidents. So, like I said, insurance agencies don't make up the rates, but as an independent insurance agency, our agency has contracts with multiple carriers, and we're actually right now fixing to sign with another one that specializes in business auto, and their rates are really good. And then we're always on the lookout, because that's the thing, we can't control the rates, but we can search the marketplace for the very best rate available for the business. And another thing that our insurance carriers and our agency are really, we know that the best thing to do about an accident is to avoid it.
Right.
And so there's a lot of technology. We have a large client in Lubbock who, with I forgot how many trucks, and they actually have the cameras that watch the driver, and which they paid for that, but it has done an unbelievable job in reducing crashes because the driver knows they're being watched. And then there's the things that you can put on the vehicles with that'll report how long they've been on the road without a brake, all those kinds of things, if they're braking too hard, if they're speeding, and also another thing that clients can do is train their drivers. We can even host, depending on the account and what insurance carrier, we can host a class to train your drivers and just, little things like that. So anyway, this is just kind of a teaser, because we're going to talk more about trucking in the next few weeks, but the rates are going out the roof, we know, and so we want to be there to help you get the best rate that you can, and also to help you prevent those claims, because you don't want to wait till you have a claim to find out if you have coverage. So
Exactly.
Is this mainly for individual truckers, or is it trucking companies?
it's both. It's just crazy. We have a book of oil and gas consultants, and the auto right now, we're placing them when we found a good market for them, but the auto is the hardest part, and it's a pickup, a guy sitting on a lease all day. That's all it is. One pickup on a lease. And that, and we really had to search pretty hard to find the best market for that, and we did, and we were relieved when we did because we were starting to worry about it. But where you see more of the preventative, because they have the money to do so, is with the big trucking companies. There's the ones that can do more of the preventive type thing, but really anybody can if they're willing to invest the money, and it does pay off. So one thing I learned yesterday is that state police are trained to just like if you know the stops that the trucks have to go through, the stations, state police are trained for those violations as well. And on my way home, I saw a truck pulled over by a state police officer, and I thought, oh, I bet I know what's going on there. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I just saw one just on 67 down here
Yeah.
at the end of 4th.
And I know Rick, believe it or not, used to drive a truck.
Yeah.
And
How does the railroad commission come in on a lot of this? Because I know there's a lot of fuel haulers and stuff like that.
Railroad Commission comes in on propane, which
Okay.
is, yeah, and other things, of course. But as far as trucking, the propane is where you see that. And then, of course, Railroad Commission definitely is involved in oil lease operators, and the actual lease is not the auto part. But yeah, so you're dealing with a lot of entities when you drive a truck. And then if you drive it across state lines, you're dealing with you're not really dealing with other entities, but you have more regulation. So anyway, like I said, we don't have the magic bullet. You know, we're probably not going to be able to get you premiums less than you paid last year on your auto. You never know, but we do have a lot of markets, and we do want to help our clients to at least get the best deal possible. And then this will change. It always does. A few years ago, well, now it's a lot longer because I'm old, but 15 years ago, 20 years ago, it was mold. That was the thing,
Mm-hmm.
And,
Oh, yeah.
And right now, cyber and employee practices liability, and then this business auto is the hot things right now where we're seeing lawsuits and stuff. So.
Very good. I did remember my question.
Okay, all right.
2 weeks ago, my aunt and uncle were involved in a really bad accident. She is barely out of the hospital. In fact, Tuesday, they ended up putting her into rehab because her neck was broke. Now, she still has feeling all through her legs,
Oh, thank
and
goodness.
everything's good. She's got a broken foot. So she's going through a lot of rehab, and my Uncle Walter called me, and we were shooting the bull, and he goes, the people that hit us, it was their fault. The USAA insurance that they have is already trying to get me to settle. And I said, no. What is the typical time frame that you should step back and look at this whole situation as a whole? What is an educated way of looking at that?
Well, the way I would look at it, and I'm not giving legal advice, this
Right.
is my opinion.
Yeah.
Until you know what you're dealing with, or unless they want to pay their policy limits to you. If they want to settle for their policy limits, that's, it depends on what those limits are.
I haven't heard that
Yeah,
term before. Yeah,
but
so
yeah.
whatever the limit is, say, okay,
Yeah.
you want to wrap this up.
Yeah.
Obviously they do.
And of course, you wouldn't want to settle if they have really low limits, like, 50,000, 100,000, if that's not going to possibly cover your expenses. And those expenses include not just the medical, but she can't work, she can't do the things that she used to do.
Yeah, but she's 80 years old.
Oh, I missed that
84,
part.
yeah,
Okay, so-
84. So we're talking 84 years old, so you know, how much life do you really have, all that
Well,
kind of
sure,
nonsense.
but
Yeah, you can't put a value on that, but at the same time, Uncle Walter's got expenses that are starting to pile up on him right now.
and they know that, and
Yes.
so that's why they're probably pushing him to do it. Yeah, I mean, it's tough because on a liability suit, they're not gonna just, they being the other party, the at-fault party's insurance company isn't gonna pay as the expenses come up. They're gonna wait, and so my advice would be find out what their limit is and ask if they're willing to settle for that, assuming it's higher than $100,000. Was it a business vehicle or a personal that hit them?
No, it was a personal
Okay.
vehicle, but the person that hit them, let's just put it this way, they are involved in a major sports franchise
Okay,
in
well
San
then-
Antonio. Go
Then,
figure it out.
yeah, so policy limits.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm sorry that happened to them. But,
Yeah, they're doing good. Yeah, she's got feeling in her body, but her neck is broke 2 vertebrae, so she's very blessed. Very
And,
blessed.
ask him if they have personal injury protection on their auto policy,
Okay.
PIP, because that's a no-fault coverage. It's probably just gonna be $2,500 or possibly $5,000, but that would be on his own policy. And that, you just have to prove you've had those expenses and they'll pay you, and that'll maybe get them through a little bit until they can settle
Okay.
That's the only advice I have, but I'm sorry, and considering what you just said about who the other party was, I would imagine they have a lot to lose and would be willing to settle for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, the accident, nobody's gonna say it, but it looked like it was texting or a distraction, whatever the case is, and just went straight over their lane, and he doesn't know what to do. In fact, he went back into their lane, trying to avoid it, and that's where my aunt's side of the car got hit.
Yeah.
And it's pretty interesting. So, okay, I'll let you go, but thank you so much for the tip this week. How do we get a hold of you, Sonia?
You can call us 940-549-2525. Come see us, second floor Sierra Bank Building, or online www.bryanins.com.
All right, thank you. Sonia
you.
Edwards, Bryan Insurance on Y100 and B104.1 FM.